Thank you guys for joining the class. Appreciate it. Okay, thank you. Thank you for those joining. We have today our second class for the unit Develop a Social Media Strategy. Okay? This is our second class, which means that we will be working today on the assessments. On the assessments. So let's start with the following video for us to start working on the assessments. Okay, so cameras on. Let's have a look at the following video for us to start the class. I just have people joining. Okay. All right, let's have a look at this.
In social media, less is more. You still need to own, you still need to name the brand name of all social media channels, of course. My business school, I have a school of digital in Instagram, even though I don't use it. I have a school of digital in TikTok, even though I am not using it yet. But you need to protect your social media everywhere. In YouTube, in LinkedIn, your name, the name of your business, of course. But it doesn't mean that you need to use it.
All right. So let's keep an eye on that video. Let's have a look at it again because we need to understand the meaning of that video for us to answer the question.
In social media, less is more.
Less is more in social media.
You still need to own. You still need to own the name, the brand name of all social media channels, of course. My business is School of Digital. I have a School of Digital in Instagram, even though I don't use it. I have a School of Digital in TikTok, even though I am not using it yet. But you need to protect your social media everywhere. In YouTube, in LinkedIn, your name, the name of your business, of course. But it doesn't mean that you need to use it.
Okay. All right. Who understands the video? Ariadna. How are you, Ariadna?
Good, how are you?
Great. What do you take from that video? What do you understand?
Because, for example, we need to first study our industry and see what the competitors are using and our audience to see where our target audience is more present. So if they are more present on Instagram, we're not going to use LinkedIn all the time. We're going to try to use more Instagram, but still we need to be present. Like, for example, we still need to have like an account, but be more focused on those places where our audience is.
That is it. That is it. 100%. 100%. So that is the knowledge that we need to have now. That's it. Fantastic. Perfect answer. So it's not about having all social media channels. No. but it is about you owning your name, your brand name, your company name is represented in each one of the social media channels that exist. Why? Because you want your brand to be protected, and it's going to take you 10 minutes and $0 to protect your brand. So there is no reason why not to do it. However, you will be surprised at how many marketing departments do not do that. And how many savvy digital marketers they secure that Facebook page, that Instagram page from someone else's company, and then they sell it for a profit. Okay? It happened in Instagram. Like a lot of people did a lot of money in Instagram because when Instagram was just starting to become popular, savvy digital marketers created the Instagram page for a recognized company in that city, in that country. And everyone, in those marketing departments, they were, oh, we don't care about Instagram. We only use Facebook. We don't care about it. So they didn't protect the brand. Still, savvy digital marketers, they protect that brand, and then they sold that social media channel for a profit. Like, this is for real. Like, I had a student from Italy, I don't know, 10 years ago, who was basically making money out of that. Like, one of my students was making money out of buying social media channels from companies in Italy, and then, selling those channels to those companies. And he was making good money. So what is the message? The message is, when you go to your first day, remember that we need to think about that first day that we start working in marketing for an Australian company or whatever. And you need to ask your manager for a few things. You need to ask the manager for the business plan. You need to ask the manager for the marketing plan. You need to ask the manager for the vision of the company, remember? All right, we know that. But we also need to ask the manager, give me access to all social media channels our company currently have. Give me access, which means username and password. You understand what I mean? Username and password of all social media, and the company's brand is in jeopardy, is in risk, if your marketing manager does not provide that to you. So if the marketing manager, your boss, your supervisor goes and tells you, okay, yes, here is our Facebook page, but we don't have Instagram, but we don't have TikTok. Here is our LinkedIn, but we don't have Instagram. We don't have TikTok. Here is our YouTube, but we don't have Instagram, but we don't have TikTok. All right. And that is your first day of work, your first day working in that company. What do you need to do that first day? What should be your first action? Remember that we cannot wait for our managers to tell us what to do, because marketing is so specialized that it's understandable that our boss knows less than us. In marketing,
we have to create that social media.
That's it. And that is we doing well that day. That is we feeling, like we did something. So I just need to prepare you guys for you to be in that situation. In that situation, you cannot expect your manager, your boss, your supervisor to tell you what to do. You need to say, okay, I know what to do. That's very different. I know what to do. What I need to do, I need to protect. I don't need to use boss. Hey, manager, don't worry, I will not be using it, but I will be protecting it because it's our brand. Oh, Santiago, yes, okay. And we never thought about it. 2 hours later, boss, bad luck. You know, our brand name, someone already bought it. Someone already, took it. Someone already took our brand name in Instagram, in TikTok. Oh, Santiago, that's going to be so hard for us to recover. We need to tell to the legal department of the company. Or you can negotiate with the person that owns that social media. Hey, this is our name. How much you want for it? I have done exactly that. Oh, it's $2,000. Okay. What is your account number? We send it to you, release the username and password. We need to own that. But a company that has brand reputation needs to own all the social media channels that exist. All of them. It's the responsibility of someone like you to make sure that happens. All right, cool. Thank you, Mariana. Thank you, Ariadna. Perfect answers. All right, let's have a look at the second video.
Instagram is fantastic, isn't it? And it's growing dramatically. Like Instagram is basically saying,
All right, so very self-explanatory video. Instagram is becoming...
Santi, no se escuchó nada. I'm sorry. I don't know if I was the one, but I didn't hear anything.
No, that
Can you hear
happened to
me?
me.
Can you hear me now? No.
We
Yeah.
can hear you,
You
but
mean
we
the
can't
video?
hear the video.
The
We
video.
can't.
That's only the video.
What about the previous video?
Yeah, that works. I think that
Okay.
you put it just unmute. That's what happened.
Yes, that's it. Let me play it again.
Instagram is fantastic, isn't it? And it's growing dramatically. Like Instagram is basically saving Facebook, isn't it? And Instagram is really, really good because we are very visual individuals, and phones have really good cameras too. So the content is brilliant.
So exactly what is happening right now. People have good phones with good cameras. Instagram is growing. Content is visual. Instagram is growing. Instagram is saving Facebook. Okay. So this is something that we need to remember, but it's not that critical for the examination. Right. Let's have a look about Twitter. Now it's called
Twitter
X.
was the first social media that was making people think. Why? Twitter was the first social media that was making people think. Why? Because it was asking you to be concise, to do synthesis. People before Twitter, they were hiding behind words, behind copy.
So true. Twitter was the first social media channel that made people think, okay, I need to write something in 240 characters. I need to write something to my audience that makes sense in 240 characters. I need to use synthesis. I need to use storytelling. So how can I capitalize on those skills? Do I have those skills? No, I don't have those skills. All right. A lot of marketers from that moment on, they were serious about learning storytelling. And that's why today, a lot of good marketers, they are very, very capable with the storytelling.
Storytelling is awesome. Oh, but my previous teacher told me that the more I write, the better my answer. No, it's the opposite. It's the opposite. The less you write, the better you answer. Obviously, you need to contain knowledge and information within those few words. And that is the tricky part. That is the art part. So a good communicator now is not that one that is writing and talking for hours. No, it's that one that is writing, 3 lines and is punching people's minds. How difficult is that one, isn't it? But if you become good at it, might. That is one of the most powerful skills. It's called micro storytelling. And the person who knows how to do this.
All right, we have discussed this few times already in our classes. This is a skill that is non-negotiable. We need to be really good at saying lots with few words, at communicating context with few words. We need to skill ourselves with this. Beautiful. All right, so let's just stop this. I reckon we had enough of those videos, but now we have a context for us to start working on the assessment. Okay. So let's go to the assessment. Guys, everyone in the online quiz, all right? So the question number 1, please. Who can read the question number 1 for me? Question number 1 of the online quiz. We need to work on the online quiz today, guys. All right?
The one who needs to fill the blankets, right?
Correct.
Before defining or helping to define a social media marketing strategy, marketing professionals and practitioners should
Space,
always
yeah.
review the organizational plan to determine objectives and priorities for social media use.
All right, beautiful. So let's try to find out how we can complete this, how we can fill those blankets. So let's read this once again. Before defining or before helping to define, because you may be helping someone, it may not be your call to define it, but you may be an assistant, whatever the case is. Before defining or before helping to define social media marketing strategy, you marketing professional, you should always review the organizational strategic plan to determine objectives and priorities for social media use. All right, so the first part, we should always or sometimes? What do you think?
Always.
This is like, if we don't do it, we are not being professionals. Like, we always need to base our actions on what is the vision of the company. How can the social media strategy help the company to achieve that vision? So it's always. Well done. And the strategic plan is the second one. So please complete that in your own. We need to complete this online quiz today. So for the question number 1, the first space is always, and the second one is strategic. But I need you to understand why, all right? Item number 2, before defining, not after, but before defining what is the most appropriate social media platform or channel for a business, for an organization, you marketing professional, someone that knows about this, someone that is making money out of that knowledge, you need to source and analyze information about your target
market.
100%. Easy one. I know it's an easy one. Especially because we have been talking a lot about that one here. But yeah, Ariadna was actually talking about that, when we started the class today. So target market, it is very important for us to always think about the target market, not about the market. The market is so big. The market is so cumbersome. It's so difficult to read that if you try to reach the entire market, there is no budget that will be enough. There is not marketing strategy that will be enough. There is not a solution for that. We need to do segmentation, and then we need to define our target market, which is our audience, as Ariadna was mentioning. And then we send our messages through social media to our audience, to our target market, nobody else. Right? Good. So easy question, but meaningful. All right, question number 3, please. Who can read the question number 3?
I can do it. Proactive, committed, and successful marketing specialists are well known for their capability and vision to identify and analyze emerging trends in social media. For instance, TikTok is rapidly becoming the dominator of social media engagement, which is the current dynamic in B2C businesses. However, regarding B2B and B2G, the social media channel of preference for effects LinkedIn. Please research or describe what you know about the following emerging social channels.
All right, beautiful. So, you know about Instagram? You know about it. For you to answer this question, you can say, look, yes, I know about Instagram, and this is my Instagram page. That will be enough. Oh, I know that Instagram is partner with Facebook. Facebook acquired Instagram and this and that. That's fine. Easy for me. But I need you to tell me if you have heard about Twitch. Because Twitch is becoming a niche social media channel. You need to tell me about Discord. All right. These are the 2 that I want you to tell me something. Okay. YouTube, OnlyFans, don't worry much about that. That changed a lot. That social media channel started with one purpose, and then it deviate for market conditions to a different purpose. But if you want to comment something about that dynamic, that could be worth it too. WhatsApp, oh my goodness, WhatsApp is growing. Like more people is using WhatsApp than ever before. The WhatsApp groups, like restaurants are opening WhatsApp groups to inform, the people that visit that restaurant what is happening. The social, the community schools, the social clubs, the sport clubs, everyone is using WhatsApp. So it is a very interesting social media platform, since it is closed. It's only for those who have access to that group in that particular case. And Facebook, all right, Generation X, a little bit of Generation Y, few problems, like not that popular as it was before, like it's not as engaging as it was before. The format hasn't changed much. All right, so that's okay. Twitter, when you write about Twitter, probably it will be a good idea that you tell me Twitter has changed the name to X, has been acquired. You know who bought it? Anybody knows who bought Twitter?
Elon Musk.
Elon
Elon
Musk.
Musk.
Say that. Elon Musk bought Twitter, and now it is called X.
And you know that Tweets is going to be like the replacement of Twitter. Tweets from Instagram. This is like there's like a change. There's like a kind of fighting between these 2 social media platforms.
Huge.
Because now I think that Twitter lost a lot of its identity with the change of the brand and all of that. Like it doesn't make any sense, this big and huge change. So Threads is like the new Twitter.
For the competence, isn't it? Because it's competing directly with X. Now, 2 things about that, Mariana, and I really appreciate your critical thinking. Two important things. One, agree with you. Like I wasn't expecting such a positioned brand name and iconography, because the little bird it is already positioned like the value of it is crazy for and some and then suddenly, you know, unbelievable. But
This is all about SpaceX. That's the main reason. This is all about Elon Musk plans. So it all makes sense. It's all connected, you know.
coming from Elon Musk, though, it may have a very powerful impact. I was telling some students the other day that when you have such a good personal brand name like Elon Musk, it doesn't matter what you launch, doesn't matter what you create, it's going to be popular. But of course, wow, it caught our attention how the Twitter brand name and iconography was detached. Incredible. All right, so that question, guys, please take 2-3 minutes for you to complete that. 2-3 minutes for you to complete that question. So Twitch is for gamers, so it's very niche. Anyone has heard about Twitch here? Can tell me?
Yeah, I
Yes,
know.
it's basically for streaming as well, like for these gamers and all of that.
Streaming, correct. So it has a very, like loyal customer base. And Discord, I don't know, for me, it's crazy what Discord is doing. And I reckon it's going to be the future of many coming technologies related to social media and communications. For me, Discord is the real disruptor here. Like, I reckon Discord will change everything: education, communications, marketing. Let's see. Discord with artificial intelligence, which is what is starting to happen now, may be something huge in a couple of years. Let's see. All right, so let's move to
The
the next.
main goal of
Yeah.
Discord, like I know I have used it in my uni for some like activities of United Nations and all of that, but I don't find it like I have used it few times in my life. So what's the main purpose? Like
You can do programming within
you
the.
can do what? Sorry.
You can do I mean, I want to use a plain language. You can create your own servers, which basically means that you can have like your own divisions of the social media channel. You can have like your own Facebook kind of thing. So it works with servers, which means that you have the base technology, and then you can use that base technology and create something totally new based on that baseline technology. And there is not limits, because you can code Discord. You can change Discord with coding, which is something that you cannot do with any other social media. So it is open source. It is crazy what someone with knowledge can do with Discord. And
Sure,
because
no one, so maybe someone that knows like all of this thing of programming and all of that. I imagine it's a good
Yes.
It's not
connection.
that hard to do. Like I used to have a server on Discord. I use it to play video games with my friends. Like it's a platform where you can be in a voice chat and at the same time play video games. And yeah, it's not that hard to make a channel. Like I did it for fun and it wasn't that hard at all. And I have like almost no knowledge of coding because I took a class like back in 2016 just for fun, and it's not really that hard.
All right, and talking about that, my friends, we need to understand that basic coding, coding is going to be like English. You know, in few years, you know, like, I don't know, you guys remember, 10 years ago, oh yes, he knows English. Oh, she knows English. How cool. Nowadays, nobody cares. Nowadays, if you don't speak English, I don't know. It is expected. Like if you go to Europe, there is nothing special about someone talking English. Nothing. So, and English is the business language, isn't it? So what we need to understand is that was very special 10, 20 years ago. Nowadays, it is expected. And that's why you guys, and myself as well, even though English may not be our first language, we are communicating using this language, which is amazing if we think about it. It is amazing. But coding is becoming the second English. It's becoming. So we need to start getting familiarized with HTML5. We need to start getting familiarized with R, with Python. We need to start getting familiarized with these language processing systems, because even though that sounds like futuristic, in a matter of years, it's going to be like part of the market. And if you have some knowledge, you don't need to know it 100%. I'm talking about some basic language knowledge. If you have some basic language knowledge, you will have an edge. Like I'm telling you, because when I was 2006, 2007, first business was a digital marketing agency in Australia, beautiful marketing. And I knew about marketing, but I also knew about HTML and HTML5 and CSS3, and not a lot, but the basics, okay? And that helped me a lot to be better, to compete with other marketers that didn't have that knowledge. All right? So let's just pay attention to that, because that is going to be the second English in no time. So Discord is interesting. Let's keep an eye on it too. All right, let's move to the question number 3, please. Anyone can read it?
To the number 4, Santi, I think.
4, sorry.
When reviewing and comparing social media platforms, marketing professionals and practitioners need only to select those that meet organizational needs and resources. Therefore, it is highly advised that instead of having all social media platforms running as part of the same strategy, marketers only focus on those few channels the marketing department can feed and manage.
Is that true or is that false?
True.
Yeah, I think so.
All right, explain me why. What is the key message here? The key message here is that social media is hungry. I need you guys to think about the word hungry. All right? I need you guys to think about the word hungry. What is hungry? Hungry means that you will be eating whatever is in front of you. You know, when you're hungry, you will eat whatever because you're hungry. If an animal is hungry, it will eat whatever is in front of that animal. So hunger is a big thing, like huge, like it just moves from psyche to physiology. It's crazy, that feeling, isn't it? Like hunger is such a powerful word, like the scope of you being hungry or the scope of someone being hungry is a huge scope. Anything could happen. Guys, do you remember that advertising from Snickers? Like, you are not the same when you're hungry? Anyone?
Yeah, they were always suggesting when you're hungry, just take Snickers. And it was like an slogan, and they use it every time that they advertise something then.
Yeah, it's like you are not yourself when you're hungry, something like that.
Like
Like,
you're really angry. Yeah.
guys, because the
You,
meaning
you
of
become
that
crazy.
is huge. And that's why what I'm trying to convey with this question, guys, is I need you guys to remember that social media is hungry, which means that if you have 3 or 4 social media channels in your company, you need to ask yourself, do I have the capability? Do I have the resources, the people, the content to feed all these social media channels that are hungry? Because they will be asking for content. They will be asking for food. So that's why the word hungry is extremely important. Because if they are hungry by default, you will manage much better if instead of feeding 4 or 5, you are feeding 1 or 2. There is someone that is called Seth Godin. One day I will present something from this guy. Seth Godin, he had a couple of marketing theories. One of them is the purple cow, very interesting one. And the other one is about social media being hungry. It's amazing. Seth Godin. Like is that this guy, it has a lot of truths. By the way, guys, I actually going to do this for you now that we're talking about Seth Godin. For those of you who are interested in the class, for those of you who find value on what we are doing, please search for this guy. All right? Not now, but later, when we finish the class, go and watch a couple of videos from Seth Godin in YouTube. Please do that. Those of you who like the classes will enjoy this, and you will find a lot of connection with what we are learning in this class, because a lot of what I teach in social media comes from Seth Godin. Okay, so it will make a lot of sense to you. And if you can read or watch a couple of videos about the purple cow theory, I love it. Purple cow, I'm gonna write it. I love the purple cow. Okay, beautiful. So that's true. Well done.
That guy wrote a basic marketing book that is so interesting and so easy to read. It is a really good one.
And he was one of the creators of one of the first social media channels, by the way, that was called Scribble. That is not popular. It didn't, it's not like when you create something, it will be successful, but he was already in that market. And I don't know, I find Seth Godin amazing. Like, And if I love that guy so much. Like if and also when if you are connected with me, and thank you, Valeria, for saying that, he also has a lot to offer in terms of permission marketing. Permission marketing, okay? So have a look at that. Permission marketing, the purple code theory, social media hungry, all of that. From Seth Godin. Okay, cool. So let's go to question number 5, I think it is. Yeah. All right, question number 5, social media integration. Like I told you guys the other day, you cannot be, if you cannot be accessing, if you're working for a large corporation, if you're working for a large business, you cannot start your day logging in each one of your social media channels. Oh, I'm going to log in Facebook. I'm going to log in YouTube. I'm going to log in Google. I'm going to log in X. I'm going to log in you cannot do that. You need to have all your social media channels living in one marketing platform. And then you log in that marketing platform, and then you do everything from that marketing platform. All the publishing, all the analytics, all the publishing. All right? All the content creation, all the analytics, all the publishing is done from the platform that is managing the social media channels. Like only amateurs, only companies that are not mature yet in marketing, they do content straight away from the social media channel. When you have a mature marketing manager, when you have a mature marketing powered company, they use HubSpot. They use Salesforce. So that question is for you to find out more about how to integrate your social media channels with HubSpot, with Salesforce. So for you to answer that question, guys, you need to search a little bit. And you need to ask ChatGPT, or you need to ask Google, hey, how can I integrate my social media channels with HubSpot? How can I, and the reason we have HubSpot and Salesforce, because those two, HubSpot and Salesforce, they are the pioneers and the most popular options for marketers like us to do social media publishing. HubSpot, more accessible, more for medium-sized companies. Salesforce, is very expensive. All right, so I'll give you 5 minutes for you to do a little bit of research on that one. And if you have completed that question, because that is very straightforward, like we need to have a platform that we can use to do one login to access all our social media channels and manage everything from one login, from one hub. That's why it's called HubSpot, you see? Salesforce, the same thing. There is one port of entry for all your social media within the company. That's what you need to explain there. Once you have
Salesforce is really good.
what is that, Maria?
I'm using it. Salesforce. I'm using it. I'm working with a company, but not in marketing and social media. It's just here, my work here in Australia. Well, something different by the moment. And will you use Salesforce, like to log in into all the platforms that we use?
It's amazing.
And it's really simple. It has like this authentication. Mhm.
It's a very big toy. You can do website management, you can do social media management, you can do content management, you can do analytics management. Remember that some companies, they don't have one website. Some companies have 3, 4 websites at the same time. So same situation. You cannot start your day like logging in the back end of each one of those websites. It will take you the entire morning just logging into each one of those websites and social media channels. So they work like a hub, like the center of all your digital operation, all your digital operation. So that is the cerebrum of your digital operation. Salesforce or HubSpot. This is critical, like the difference between a marketer that knows something about HubSpot, or a lot, hopefully, and someone who doesn't is huge. And in an interview, if you have an interview, if someone asks you, hey, do you have any experience with marketing automation? Then you will say, yes, well, I have worked with HubSpot and with Salesforce a little bit at class level. We have talked about it, we know how it works, but at least that will open the window for you to keep, the hope of getting that job. But if you go and say, no, what? Marketing automation? HubSpot? Salesforce? No idea what is that. What is that? Believe me, guys, there is not a chance that you will get that job in marketing. Not a chance. All right. The question number 6. You need to tell me what social media channels do you have. All right. I need to see your LinkedIn. I need to see your YouTube, your Twitter or your X, your Instagram, your Discord. If you don't have it, fine. I don't have it. That's good. That's okay. Remember, it's not that you need to have it. It's like you should have it. So if you need to do it for someone else, at least you have some experience. That's it. The importance of that message, isn't it? You don't need to have YouTube, but you need to have knowledge about how to use YouTube if you want to charge money to manage YouTube for someone else. The best way to get knowledge, though, is by practicing it directly with the platform, by having a YouTube channel. So the person that has a YouTube channel in the interview will do much better than the person that does not have a YouTube channel. You know what I mean? So imagine that you're applying for the marketing role, and the marketing role has a big component of social media management. And they ask you, hey, have you managed YouTube before? No, I haven't. No, I don't. No, I haven't managed YouTube. Oh, well, yes, I have a YouTube channel. I know how to manage a YouTube. Okay, thank you. That's a huge difference, guys. Like huge. It's not like the recruiter will look at your YouTube channel. No. But it means that you know how to upload a video, that you know how to add the meta description, that you know how to optimize it for different platforms, that you know how to do the edition to make it more enjoyable for your audiences. So there is a lot of skills implicit when you say it, I have a YouTube channel. By the way, I believe that you should have a YouTube channel. Everyone should have a YouTube channel. but is optional 100%. So I want you to talk about that in the question number 6. Yes, I have it. No, I don't have it. This is why I don't have it. Give me a little bit of context for that question number 6.
We should share our Instagram, our social media, like all of us to get in contact, not just having the WhatsApp, like yeah.
So let's do that. Let's do that. Let's do that.
That would be nice.
I reckon that would be very, very nice. All right. So thank you for that. In the next 5 minutes, guys, let's use the chat for that very purpose. Let's share our social media channels. I think that is a fantastic idea. I will do the same as well.
Great.
Guys, one question. Is the school sending you the recordings of the classes?
No, I don't have anything.
The school is not sending you the recordings of the classes?
No. I'm not sure if like everyone else has the same problem or if it's just me, but I don't have.
Asked once and they told me that you were the one, Santi, who had to send us the link.
Oh,
So,
really?
but now I'm looking for it just in the YouTube page. That's what I'm doing.
Yes, same.
Okay. I was told the school will be sending that to you. Anyway, by the way, guys, now that we're talking about social media, you should be subscribed to my YouTube channel because I upload the classes to that YouTube channel. So you will see the videos coming. I have because I am running the class from my computer, it's so slow. Valeria, would you mind to share my channel in the chat?
Sure.
So that's a good source of information, the YouTube channel that I have. Anyway, from today on, I will just not send, because I'm sending the class to the school. I will send it to you straight away. Thank you, Ali. All right, we almost finished the first part of the examination. Let's go to the question number 7. Question number 7, social media management brings outstanding opportunities for building brand awareness. Please describe why you should protect your brand by securing your business name across all social media platforms. So we have discussed this before, yes, but please believe me, the importance of this, the importance of you remembering this, once we finish all these classes, if you remember this little thing about social media strategy, that will be a really good thing. So please describe why you should protect your brand by securing your business name across all social media platforms. You may say, because it is my responsibility. I am a professional. This is my responsibility. This is what professional marketers do. They protect business brands in all digital channels and platforms. Or you may say, well, I don't want to pay. I don't want to pay someone else, someone that is doing this first than we are doing it. I don't want someone to call me and say, hey, look, I have your social media channel. Do you want it for $1,000? So you may say, look, I don't want this to happen to me. Or you may say, look, because I want to do the right thing. I want to explain others in the marketing departments the importance of we doing this. So I'm going to lead by example, and I will be the first doing this at the company. This is going to set up an example for everybody else. So please give me your reason. We have talked about this before, I know, but it's extremely important. So that's for the item number 7, please. And for the item number 8. All right, sorry. Do the item number 7 and then we do the item number 8. And then after the item number 8, we go for a break. Okay. Now let's go to the item number 8, please. So item number 8 goes like this. It is not a good practice to create an account to protect brands. The vast majority of businesses and organizations are okay with someone else, with someone else running a social media account using those brands a business represents. What do you think? This a little bit of there is sarcasm here, isn't it? A little bit of sarcasm here, so it is okay. It's false, correct. So item number 8 is false. Thank you for understanding the question. I appreciate that. All right, guys. So far so good. We haven't finished the online quiz yet. We still need to complete a couple of questions, but let's do our first break for the day. After the break, we complete the first assessment, which is the online quiz. And then we start working on the observation assessment. The observation assessment needs to change. I'm going to tell you why. We are not providing enough context to the answers. So I need you guys to improve a little bit how you answer your observation assessment. I'm going to explain it. I'm going to explain how you can improve your answers. And it's not happening to everyone, but some of you are just not understanding properly the observation assessment. So break, we continue with question number 9, number 10 after the break. We complete the online quiz. We jump straight away to the observation assessment for this unit. So enjoy your break, and I will see you in 10 minutes. Hey guys, let's get back. Thank you, Ariadna. Thank you, Mariana. All right, we need to watch a video before we answer the next set of questions. We're going to share that video with you guys here in the screen.
It's a policy. What is a company policy? What is the characteristic of a company's policy?
I think it's like a rule that a company establish.
Yep. That's what it is. It's a rule that a company establishes in order to use a company's resource. Another thing important about a policy, guys, is that it is very, very difficult to change a company's policy. It's not written in rock, so it could be changed, but very, very difficult endeavor. Very difficult because you need approvals from all management levels. Because that's why it's called a policy. It's like this is non-negotiable. But it could be if there is enough evidence to support that it should be addressed or updated. So now we know what is a policy. Okay, cool. What is a procedure then? A procedure is the process, isn't it? It's the guideline that will tell you in detail how to use a company's resource. So the procedure is the set of steps for you to use a company's resource. The policy is the title of that action. When you do social media strategy in a company, you need to ask the company, where is the social media policies and procedures? Are you getting this? And if the company tells you, no, we don't have one, then what is that you need to do? You're ready, you got a job as a marketing person in a company. The company is asking you to do a social media strategy. Then you need to ask straight away the company, all right, where can I find social media policy and procedures for this company? If the company tells you, no, we don't have one, what is that you need to do then? Who can answer that question to me?
The first action that we have to do is create a new one. No.
And that is the point. So this is critical that you remember, because it's going to happen to you or may happen. You know, you get a job in marketing.
Obviously, I think it's responsibility for the management, but at the same time, my responsibility if I know that I can help with this process, I think.
Exactly, because management, probably this is a small company, medium-sized, probably they don't know that they need this. So you will tell them, okay, I can do the social media strategy, but before, we need to develop the social media policy and procedures for this company. And you know what will happen, Sebastian? They will tell you, thank you, Sebastian. That's why you're here. That's why we hired you. We didn't know that. And you will go, all right, cool. So I'm going to develop a team and some meetings. And the idea is to have a micro project to have the social media procedures and policies in 2 months. Once we have the policy, then we can do the strategy. And they will tell you, thank you, Sebastian. That's why we hire you, because you know what to do. And that is the purpose of this class. The purpose of this class is not to do social media. No, I mean, the class is about social media. No, the class is not about social media. The class is about how to implement a social media plan and strategy in a company. Different. This is not about how you use Facebook or how you open a Twitter account. No.
All right, so the message is clear. Before we do social media strategy, we need to have the social media policies and procedures. Extremely important to remember, we cannot do anything without the policy. Like the policy is the framework in terms of what we can do and what we cannot do in a company. So it is a rule. It is very important that you guys remember that policies, they do not change as we change plans. Like a plan every year is different. And that's why we have a marketing plan for 2022, a marketing plan for 2023, and so on and so on. Or we have a business plan for 2025, but we don't have a year, a number attached to a policy. Why not? Because it is expected that policies will stay, will remain in time. Because it is a rule. So we don't change policies. However, it doesn't mean that they will never change. They may change if there is a business case for it. I'm going to give you an example. I work as a consultant, educational consultant, and when ChatGPT came along, companies, education companies, schools, universities, they were forced to update their plagiarism policies. ChatGPT was something new. So schools, universities, they change, they update the plagiarism policy. So, but I am telling you, last time that policy was changed was 10 years ago, probably never. Second thing, if the company doesn't have a policy, then you have the responsibility to write, to publish in the intranet the policy. I talk about the intranet because medium-sized, large businesses in Australia, they have intranets. So what is an intranet? You start your day, you open, you go to your computer, and then you will have like a photo of the company and the intranet. And in the intranet, you have all the forms, all the procedures, and all the policies that you need, that everybody will need. So it is extremely important to recall this. If the policy doesn't exist, I create the policy. Second thing, the policy does not change regularly, but it may change if there is a business case for it. Third thing, the policy is the framework, which means that we need to contain our marketing strategy within that framework. If the policy goes and said, we don't use the word free in our social media messages, so then you don't use the word free. Then you use the word bonus or something similar to free, addition, but you don't use the word free. In Australia, there is a regular policy, government policy that goes, it is not okay to use the word free because obviously someone is paying for it, obviously. But in other countries, the word free is totally okay, but not in Australia. So companies need to align their company's policies to the government policies that are protecting customers. So in Australia, businesses cannot use the word free. Have a look at that. Have a look. Oh, Santi, I found a company that is using the word free. Well, that is an exemption because that company probably doesn't know. But a company that has a legal department that knows about what they do, it will not be using the word free. Right? So that is important. Now let's go to after that video, let's go to the next question. So I will leave that one to you guys. I will be reading this one because in Australia, the legal component of our profession is so important. Like so important. In Australia, the legal component of our marketing profession It's extremely important. So we need to know that. So I have explained that to you. Give me your best. You don't need to write a lot, but give me an example. Give me something that I say, all right, she knows, he knows. All right, for question number 9. I will give you 3 minutes for you to answer question number 9. Okay, guys, beautiful. So I hope that you have provided enough context for that question number 9. And now let's go to the last question of this online quiz. I expect everyone that is here in this class to submit this examination straight away, please. All right. Let's see. Now, the next question is about how would you develop a social media plan? And there is a link to an example, but that link is only as a reference, guys. It is only as a reference. What I need you guys to remember for that question number 10 is, what is the tone of my communication? What is the channel that I use, which represents my audience? And what is the timing? What is the frequency of my communications? That is what really matters for a social media plan. I'm going to repeat it. What is the tone of my communication? It is serious communication, informal communication, humoristic communication, young communication, professional communication, religious communication. What is the tone? Political tone. What is the tone? We need to develop that voice. We need to understand how we sound as a business. You know, how we sound as a business. What is our voice? We need to define it first. Second, we need to define what is the best social media channel. Ariadna was talking about this early, you know, and she went, we need to select that social media channel depending on our audience, our target market, you know, which social media they use. It's not up to us. Ariadna, you remember that, yeah? You were telling us this morning about the importance of we selecting the social media channel that our audience is using. So that is the second part of the social media plan. And the third part is the frequency. So remember what I told you last class as well. The frequency is higher in a business-to-business environment or business-to-customers environment. Who remembers?
Business to customer.
Business to customers, because it's high demand. There is a lot of competition. Like, we're talking about items that are not expensive, probably, but we're talking about normal items, clothes, food. Whereas business to business is capital investment. So you don't need to be all the time on top of your customers. So that's what you need to do for question number 10. Explain those 3 concepts to me. Develop a social media plan for any idea that you may have, for a business idea that you have. All right, this is my tone. This is how we talk. We have a humoristic style. We have a professional voice style because we are serious. We are lawyers. We are accountants. We're corporate. Or we're young because we are a nightclub. We are fun. You know, we are excitement. So describe me. Tell me what is the tone. How you talk. Give me an example, or tell me in words how you sound, how your business sounds. Second, what is the social media channel for that business of yours? If you don't have a business, just pretend to have a business, please. Oh, Santi, you don't have a business. Pretend that you have a business. It's going to be good for you to pretend that you have a business. Number 3, all right, if my business is about Christmas, the frequency is not going to be every week. The frequency is going to be every day, but from November to December. You understand what I mean? It's different. Or if your business is about selling, I don't know, something for winter, so the communication is happening right now, not in summer. So tell me about the frequency of your communications in social media. How are you going to manage that? Or go to that link and take that as an example But again, that is just an option that you have there. So guys, again, tone of the communication, channel in which you will communicate, frequency of your communications. That's what I need for question number 10. So try your best. I will give you 5 minutes.
Santi,
Yeah.
so can you explain to me again, please, this thing of the frequency, like well explained?
Mhm.
Because I think I don't have it like right clear at
That's,
all.
that's okay. So the frequency is important to us since we need to invest resources on publishing that social media content. That is what really matters. We need to invest resources. For us to invest resources properly, we need to do a good selection in terms of frequency. If a company needs to publish content every day, that is going to be more expensive, more difficult than a company
Yeah.
that needs to publish every week. More expensive, the company that publishes every week compared to the company that publishes every month.
Got it.
Extraordinary when the company has such a good marketing plan that the people, the customers are creating the content. Remember that I told you about that last class? Anyone remembers from last class what is the name that we give when people is creating the content for us? Anyone remembers? No one remembers that?
Consumer something.
Users generated content.
User-generated content, yeah. Sorry.
But that is fantastic, right? You know, that is crazy good. That is not what happens to everyone. But that is amazing. If the people is creating the content for us, oh my gosh.
And that's happening a lot, like those days. Like, for example, for a lot of bakeries, I was with Vale the other day and we were trying Loon, the croissant bakery.
Okay.
They do not post like anything in their social media. They just post like once a week, like 2 times, something like that. But in TikTok, in all the food blogs of Melbourne, of Instagram, there's at least 2 like posts about Loon. So there's a hype. Like, everyone's posting about this place. They don't have to do anything, basically.
And people are so happy just taking pictures or just making some recordings about they doing the waiting line to the bakery. And
Really?
yeah, they felt so proud about it.
Yeah, they took us like 20 minutes to just grab 2 croissants, like 20, 25 minutes line. It's huge.
Wow. But that is fantastic, isn't it? We all want to be like that business. We all want, that is the pinnaculum of branding. That is the pinnaculum of marketing operations. That is the pinnaculum of social media. When people is taking photos of, they doing the line to buy what that is gold. That is the pinnaculum. So if you want to answer that question from that perspective, then I will understand that you know how to do a social media plan. You may tell me, Santi, my social media plan is not to have a plan. I want to create an environment for people, for my customers, to create content. So then I use that content in my social media channels because of the hashtags or the hyperlinks. I think that is a fantastic answer. I'm going to tell you another thing. Look, with Tesla, Tesla Motors, yeah? So anyone remembers the Cybertruck when he was launching the Cybertruck? Anyway, Elon Musk, he doesn't create content for social media, but he invites bloggers, he invites social media personalities and a lot of people that is in social media to attend his events. And he pays for the tickets, he pays for the food, but he doesn't pay them. But he invites them and covers the cost of invitations. what people do, they are excited about being there invited. They create the content, they film the launching, they do interviews, and that content is used by Elon Musk to expand the brand, but he doesn't create the content himself. That is users generated content, and that is the pinnacle of social media. Not easy to achieve, but if you remember that and you tell me around those lines that that is what you want to do in the future when you have the chance, that will be enough for question number 10. Otherwise, you need to tell me, Santi, my social media plan will be based on defining what is my tone, how I talk. Do we use capital letters? Do we use all capital letters in our communications? Do we use professional words, or we use a very plain language, plain English words? We use colloquial, humoristic expressions, sarcastic ones, or we don't. What, guys, have you seen this place in Melbourne that you go to have hamburgers and they treat you like shit? Anyone has seen that restaurant?
Yeah, you told us about that restaurant before.
Okay, that is the communication tone. They have that voice. They create that voice. So what is the communication of the brand? What is the communication tone of the brand? What is the channel that we'll be using? And you cannot tell me all channels. Boom, fail. We have 2 channels because those are the channels in which our audience speaks. And these are those 2 channels. And the frequency is going to be high because our business is business to customers. So the frequency will be 3 posts per week. The first post about the industry, the second post about our business, the third post about the customers. And that is the axle, because the 4th post will be about the industry, the 5th one about the business, and the 6th one about the customers, and so on and so on. You remember that from the last class? And then once you have that content like that, with that frequency, then you have a social media plan. That is a social media plan. So just give me enough knowledge or enough evidence, sorry, that you know how to do the social media plan. So that's for question number 10. 5 minutes more, and then once we finish with that question, we move to the observation assessment. Okay, guys. So by this time you should be completing your online quiz. And now we need to focus on the summative assessment, which is the observation. I will guide you with the questions, please, because I need you to provide evidence. So I'm going to explain how to do this. So if you haven't finalized the online quiz, then you need to stop now. You need to turn your cameras on, everyone, because the observation assessment needs to be done with cameras on, because it's the summative assessment, by the way. So the evidence is the recording. You need to have the camera on for the coming assessment. Okay. Okay, so the question number one is asking, do you have the skills to review organizational means the company, the business. So do you have the skills to review the business strategic objectives? And then after you have understood, review the business objectives, the vision, and then determine the objectives and priorities for social media. Okay, so that's the question number one. That's the question number one. For that question number one, I need to read, I need to see that you know that you need to ask first for the business plan of the company, for the business plan of the company where you find the strategy, the vision, the mission, before you do the social media plan. Why? Because everything that we do in marketing, everything, is to help the company to achieve its vision. So what is the vision? The vision is the most important goal a company has. I'm going to ask you something. Guys, what is the end of a business plan? When you can say this business plan is completed, we need a new one. When?
When you reach the goal.
That's it. Well done, Cami. Well done. But that goal, which is the most important goal, is called vision. But it's a goal, Cami. Yeah? But it's such an important goal that we don't call it goal, we call it vision. Isn't it? When we achieve that goal, that is the end of the business plan, Cami, well done. Which means that then we need to do a new plan with a new goal, with a new vision. Cami, whereas the mission statement, the mission with M, not with V, is not a goal. The mission is the purpose, isn't it, of a business. That one, the mission does not change. It remains. As far as that company continues operating, the mission does not change. The purpose of the company does not change. If it changes, it's because it's a different business. It's a different company. So the mission remains, whereas the vision changes. Every time that we achieve a company's vision, then we start a new business plan. Everything that we do in marketing, is to help the company to achieve that very vision that we're talking about. So you need to explain that to me. I don't know. Do you understand? Do you understand what I'm telling you? Is it clear to you what I'm telling you? Is it clear to you that before you do social media, before you do any work related to social media planning, you need to read first the company's vision, the company's business plan? Is that clear to you? Do you understand that? Tell me, guys, yes or no? So now tell me, you need to do the same. Now you need to demonstrate that you know that. And that is for the question number one. I need to know, I need to have the resources to demonstrate the school that you know that before you do social media planning, you need to have a business plan in front of you. And if the company doesn't have a business plan, guys, believe me, probably that is not the best company to work for, or it's going to be very difficult to prove your value in that company. So you may want to rethink if you want to work for that company in marketing. Unless it's a startup and you see different goals and different possibilities. But a company without a business plan, a company without a plan is a company that is planning to fail, in other words. All right, so that is for question number one. Guys, 2 minutes. You don't need more than that. Complete that question, please. Complete that question. All right. If anybody needs extra information or doesn't understand the question number one, this is the time to tell me. All right, we're going to do the next couple of questions in groups. So please join your group. Cameras on and everybody participating within those groups. Join your groups, please. Okay, guys. Valentina, you going to join your group? Miyuki, are you joining your group? Guys. Vale. Mert. Hello, Maria. What happened to you?
I don't know, teacher. I was in the group, but closed it. I don't know what's happened.
That's okay. Let me just try to fix it. In 1 second. Mari, what happened?
Hi, sorry, I'm having some trouble with my computer, with the Wi-Fi of my computer, so I had to log
What?
in with my phone. Yeah, so I wasn't able like to finish the exam. Well, I wrote down like everything, but I can send it because I don't know what's going on with the Wi-Fi. Well, I have here in the house that I'm staying now, they don't have Wi-Fi. That's a mess. So I have to share all the time my data to the computer and it's not working.
That's okay. Let's keep going. But if we get disconnected, doesn't matter. We try again. So Mari, I'm going to assign you to a group now.
Okay.
Try to join it now. And same for you, Maria. Guys, how you going? You are the group number 1. I want you to focus on the first 8 questions. The first 8 questions, okay?
Wait, what do you mean the first 8 questions? I
So
don't think
We have around 25 questions in this observation plan. That's why.
okay.
and we have 3 groups. So each group will be doing more or less 8 questions. All right. So you guys will be doing the first set of 8 questions. Okay. Is that clear? At least you will be thinking about those 8 questions as a priority. If you complete those, you move on. But the first 8 questions is what I want you to focus on. So you need to talk between you guys. All right. Is that clear, Eddie? Sylvia, is it clear what you need to do?
Yeah.
All right. 8 questions. You need to have them ready before the end of the class. Well, properly established. 8 questions. Number 2, and then move 8 down. Okay. Or number 1 if you want. It's just because we were in number 1. But focus on the first 8 questions. That's it.
Okay.
we should find out our target audience first, and it's choose based on age or gender, some kind like this.
Like we need to know like the customer target first.
Yes, because it depends on it, like the content that we are going to share. For example, I mean if it is for kids, we will need to avoid any explicit content or something like that. So first of all, I think the target market is the most important thing. On that depends the other the other topics.
Well done, Vale. That's exactly right. Guys, I know that you're working on question number 2, but the group number 1 is taking care of those questions. You need to look after question number 9 up to question 17, all right? So whoever is sharing the screen, please move to question number 9. Question number 9, please. Because this is a very long assessment, so we need to work together on this. All right, beautiful. All right, so the question number 9. Do you have the skills and knowledge to establish guidelines for social media engagement and content use? So what are guidelines? Remember, policies and procedures. So you need to tell me, yes, I have the skills and knowledge to establish new policies and procedures to use social media, to have a framework for us to use social media. We have boundaries in this organization. We know what kind of content we will never publish because it's explicit, because it's for adults, and we know that we will never go that far in terms of our content. Or you may say, we have some rules, some procedures when it comes to engagement. We always communicate the truth, and we never trick our users, our customers. So you need to be very clear with question number 9, but question number 9 is about policies and procedures for people to use social media for engagement and for content purposes. But it's all about policies and procedures. Don't forget about that. So guys, you group number 2, you need to answer this quickly. I mean, guys, seriously, 2 minutes in each question. 2 minutes, 3 minutes, and move on. You need to demonstrate that you know that. How you can demonstrate it? Because you're recalling what we learned in the class, or because you're giving me an example of a work experience that you have, any one of you. So you are about 10 people. You work together to answer these questions number 9 to 17 as soon as possible. Okay, guys? Guys, pay attention, please. Can you listen? Guys, are you there? Can you listen to me?
Yes.
Question 17 to question 25. That's it. That's what you need to do. That's what you need to produce. Question 17 to question 25. That's it. So work together as a team, visit each one of these questions, and provide evidence that you guys understand it, that you guys know that. But you need to work as a team, please. It should take you 2-3 minutes to answer each question and then move on to the next one. So please, someone take ownership of this group and move everybody else to complete this. Ampini, can you hear me? Ampini.
Yes, Santi.
All right, you will be the person leading this group, Ampini. Okay? It's your responsibility to move this group. So by the end of the class, you have those questions answered. From question 17 to question 25. Is it clear, Ampini?
Yeah.
Beautiful. So please get people working. Get people working.
Hi.
Maria, I can hear you. I can hear you now.
Yep, I was just talking in the other group if they had like any questions that maybe I could help them with. I don't know.
That's okay. I know it's difficult to get people to collaborate with these group activities, so I prefer just not to keep doing it, and let's just see how can we complete the observation assessment a little bit faster. Okay, guys.
Santi, I'm having some trouble with the Wi-Fi, as I told you, so I'm just copying everything in Accelerate. Maybe it will take me more time.
That's okay. That's okay.
I'm connected by my phone, so I have to wait.
That's okay. I understand. Okay, guys, the observation assessment needs to be completed, but seems like you guys are not working as I asked you to work. All right. So first of all, we are still in the assessment. I need the cameras on. Right now, the camera's on. And secondly, I will just go through the questions quickly. I'm going to explain the questions and move on quickly. It will take me 30 seconds for each questions because you need to get the observation done. Okay, and that is the assessment that I review the most. That is also very important to remember. Okay, question number 2, please. Who can read it to me?
Does the student have skills and knowledge to source and analyze information about the target market, its social media use, behaviors, and preferred platforms?
Yes, I do. If I have to do social media marketing, the most important thing, the top level, is understanding my target audience, my target market. That is the first step. I built everything else from that point. But if I don't know what is my social media target market, my social media audience, everything that I do will not make any sense. I can do the social media targeting market by understanding what is the demographics of my audience, how old they are, if they are married, if they have kids, if they have education, if they don't have education. I also can do the targeting of my audience by knowing where they live, if they live close to the city, so they live in the neighborhood, so they live in the countryside, if they live in what kind of weather conditions. I need to know what kind of clothes they use to protect themselves from the environment. I also will do my social media depending on how happy or how unhappy they are with the kind of products that I sell. These are psychographic analysis. So for me to do social media, I need to know my target audience first. And from that point on, I do everything else. Okay, guys, question number 3. Question number 3, please, guys.
Question number 3. Does the
have
student
okay.
You can go if you want. It's okay.
Okay. The student have skills and knowledge to identify and analyze emerging trend in social media platform use?
Yes, I do. I am very aware of the emerging trends. For example, right now, there is a new social media platform that is competing against the old Twitter that now is called X. And that new social media platform that is competing with Twitter is called Threads. Isn't it, Mariana? And Threads is a social media that is owned by Facebook. We need to keep Threads close to our social media strategy for us to see potential use of that social media in our marketing mix. Beautiful. Question number 4.
Question number 4. Does the student have skills and knowledge to review and compare social media platforms and select those that meet organizational and target market needs?
Yes, I do have the skills and knowledge to select media platforms. I do not select media platforms because I like them or because I don't like them at personal level. That's not how I do. I don't judge social media platforms because of my personal experience with them. I select social media if my company's products and services will be very well represented in a particular social media channel. For example, TikTok. A lot of people judge TikTok because they say, oh, TikTok is just for young people and for teenagers dancing and doing lip singing. And I am a very serious person and I will not be using TikTok. That is wrong because that person is judging TikTok from a personal perspective. We marketing professionals, we don't judge social media marketing platforms from personal perspectives, but from companies and business applicability. So if TikTok is good for my business, it doesn't matter if I like it or not. I will use it for my business purposes. All right, question number 5.
Does the student have skills and knowledge to identify opportunities for social media integration with existing systems and procedures?
If my company is running more than 2 social media channels because my company is a big one and we have a budget that is dedicated to social media, we have a social media coordinator, for example, we have a social media assistant, we have a group of people that is creating content, that is curating content, then I believe that is very important that we have that capability. All right, question number 6, please.
Does the student have skills and knowledge to identify opportunities to maximize business exposure through social media activity?
So business exposure is extremely important for brand awareness. For brand awareness, which is people recognizing my brand, it is silly, it is ridiculous not to use social media. If I don't use social media, the market will be asking me, why you don't want to talk to me? I'm going to repeat this, guys. When you do not use social media for business purposes, your target market, your audience, your customers will be asking why you, company, don't want to talk to me, customer. This is the channel, the perfect channel for me to talk to you, to give you feedback, to tell you how I feel, to tell you if I want more or not. Good companies are using chats. Good companies are using Messenger. Good companies are using WhatsApp to have feedback, to have real-time feedback about how people enjoy their products and services. And for question number 5, I forgot to tell you something for question number 5. Question number 5 is about using platforms. It's about if you have the need to use a platform because you have 2, 3, 4 social media channels and you have the budget to pay for a platform, that's when you decide to do so. So examples of platforms, HubSpot, Salesforce. All right. Question number 7.
That the student have skill and knowledge to determine opportunity for building brand awareness and online community to social media use.
Okay, give me 1 second. Who can answer that one for me, please? So it's all about brand awareness, isn't it? It's all about building brands through awareness. And as I said before, this is how we talk to our audiences. Question number 8. Who can read it, please? Question number 8.
Does the student have skills and knowledge to establish a scope of social media policies and procedures based on planned social media activity?
So depending on how much activity you want to have, depending on how active you are in social media, depending on how important social media is for you, depending on how much value you give to social media in your business, because for some businesses, social media is the most important thing. So depending on that, your social media policy scope will be huge or will be very minimum. So what is a scope? I need you guys to think about the scope as a focus. And that focus could be very specific or could be very, very broad. When you have a business that depends on social media to sell, that depends on social media to engage with potential customers, then the scope of that social media policies and procedures will be really, really big. But in the other hand, when you have a business that doesn't need social media, a business that doesn't use social media much, of course, that policy will be very, very little, very simple, because it's not an important part of that business operation. Is that clear? All right, question number 9. Question number 9, guys, please.
Does the student have skills and knowledge to establish guidelines for social media engagement and content use?
So what are the guidelines? The guidelines is what we can do, what we cannot do. So for us to have the skills and knowledge, we need to know what is the local legislation in terms of customer protection, customer data management, customers promotion and communications. In Australia, for example, there are very powerful and established guidelines that are brought to companies by the government in terms of what we can do and what we cannot do. For example, in Australia, we cannot use the word free when we want to promote products that will have a bonus. We need to use the word bonus. Also, in Australia, the companies need to have, the company's information technology department, IT, needs to have all the protocols to protect customer data. That information cannot be filtered. That information about our customers cannot be sold to a third-party business. So our policies have to represent what the government is telling us. And those guidelines need to be communicated to each single person of the marketing department. So each single person of the marketing department follows those guidelines. So don't forget, we receive the macro guideline from the government, especially when we're in a country like Australia. They tell us, all right, this is what we can do, this is what we cannot do when it comes to communications, marketing, and sales. And then once you know that policy, macro policy from government, then you panel beat, then you create or you support the creation of a company's policy and procedure that is reflecting the government one. All right. Question number 9, please. Can anyone read it, please?
Should be number 10.
Sorry, number 10. Yeah.
Number 10. Does the student have skills and knowledge to develop issues and crisis management guidelines and appropriate responses?
All right. Sometimes people will offend the company in social media. Or sometimes you will have someone that will say, you know, the founder of that company is such a bad person and they use really bad words. It may happen. You understand what I mean? It may happen that someone will be using or picturing a negative view of one of the company's directors, founders, employees in social media. Or it may happen as well, guys, that someone will go to social media and say, no one buy products and services from this company. It's really bad company. The customer service is the worst. They never answer the calls. I have to wait for 3-4 weeks to receive any communication back. And they write it in your Facebook. They write it in your Facebook feed. All right. What would you do? Will you delete that comment, or you will leave that comment visible to everyone? What you will do?
I would leave it visible and like answer to the concerns.
I will do the same. I will do the same. I prefer to have a negative comment than not have a comment at all. You know what I mean? And it is very honest to answer the negative comment instead of deleting it. So that's what I'm talking with question number 10. Some companies, they panic out and they say, oh, we cannot receive anything comment that is negative. We need to delete it. Hold it. No, that is the reality of social media. The reality of social media is for the good, but also for the bad. This is real life. It's not real life from a tangible perspective. Okay, it's a real life from a virtual perspective, but it's still real. And real comes with the good and comes with the bad. So if we need to manage the crisis by accepting that we did something wrong, by saying sorry, we are going to try to be better next time, let's do it. Let's just continue the conversation. Let's not stop the conversation just because we can delete the negative comment. You got it, guys? All right, question 11, please.
Does the student have the skills and knowledge to integrate legal and ethical considerations into social media policies and procedures?
Depends on the student. Depends on how you see social media and what are the purposes of it. Depends how far you want to go with it. Do you consider that ethical requirements, ethical considerations should play an important role in what you do? Or you think that is not relevant at all? So this is a very personal question. Very personal question. Do you think that those personal ethical frameworks that you have should permeate to the development of social media policies and procedures? Or do you think that we don't need to even think about that, because that is why we have a social media policy and procedure that will tell all of us what to do in social media, regardless if we agree or we disagree? Think about it. Think about it. I believe that my personal perspective doesn't count, since we have a company's policies and procedures that I have to obey, regardless if I like it or not. Very important question number 11, please, guys. I will be reading these answers. I need to see quality in your question, in your answers. Question number 12.
Does the student have the skills and knowledge to ensure policies and procedures are customer-focused and aligned with organizational marketing plan and strategy?
The reason we have a business is because of our customers. A business that does not sell is not a business. A business that does not have activity, that is not selling, is not a business. You can call it as you want. But if your business is not selling, that is not a business. If, you know, like a lot of people say, oh, I have a business because I have a business, I have a website and I have a business card and I have a brochure. No, you don't have a business until the day that you sell what you're selling. So at that moment, you have a business. From that point on, you need to make sure that everything is customer focused, which means that what you do is trying to make the life of that customer better. Can social media help you to achieve that? I think so. How? You have the social media policies and procedures, and those social media policies and procedures are giving you the guideline, and that could be used to achieve the company's vision, to help the company to achieve its main goal. That is what we do in marketing. What we do in marketing is to support the overall company's vision. So that's not different to the business plan. It's not like we can have a social media plan that is disconnected from the business plan. They should be working in harmony. All right. Question number 13, please.
Does the student have skills and knowledge to determine strategies for social media content development, customer engagement, and customer service?
So the best strategy for social media content development is, who remembers that? What is the best strategy for social media content development? Who remembers that? What is the best strategy for social media content development, guys?
First, post about the industry.
Okay.
That's the recipe, yeah.
Yes.
The second about the business, and the third about the customers.
Beautiful, beautiful. Now, when it comes to customer engagement, how can we invite people to engage with our content? By asking them to create the content. So we can talk about users-generated content as well. And customer service, of course. The best way to provide customer service is through social media, guys. I'm telling you, it's not through the phone. It's not through the email. If people can reach the company using social media to be served, to be heard, that is fantastic. Well done. All right, question number 14.
Does the student have, do you want to go?
You go. No.
Okay. Does the student have the skills and knowledge to develop and document a social media action plan detailing key responsibilities, resourcing requirements, and timeframes?
All right, so now we need to create the plan. So how we create the plan? We capitalize on what we answered before. We need to have a plan that could follow a recipe, like the recipe of industry, business, and customer post. We also need to know who is responsible for what. Which person of the marketing department is the one that will be curating, that will be sourcing content, that will be creating content. If we don't have the capabilities in the business to create content, then we need to outsource content. We need to find someone else outside the company, like an advertising agency or marketing agency, or expert that will be creating the social media for us. And the time frames are important because those time frames need to follow the frequency of our social media posting, depending on what we sell. As I explained before, if you are selling something that needs to be consumed every single day, like milk or bread, your social media frequency and timeframes will be very regular. But if you have a product or service that is consumed once a year in Easter, like the Easter eggs, then the timeframes will be following that pattern. All right, so you need to give me something like that in question number 14, so you demonstrate that you understand what it is. All right, question 15, please.
Does the student have skills and knowledge to prepare a social media calendar documenting planning social media activity in line with marketing strategy and promotional activities?
Beautiful. So this is the schedule. This is an spreadsheet. This is an Excel spreadsheet in which you have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then you have what time of the day the social media will be published. Why this is important? Guys, when you think people go more to social media from 9 a.m. till 11 p.m., sorry, from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. or from 12 till 2 p.m.?
It depends of the person. Well, it could be
Let's say,
both.
good one. Let's say someone that is working in an office.
More
12
during
to
the
2 p.m.
Maybe earlier, but from
Lunchtime.
7 a.m. I think.
No,
But
no.
with your options, I will take the second
9
one.
a.m. to 10 p.m.
Let's say that we're talking about someone that is working in an office. When is more likely that this person working in an office will be in his or her social
Lunchtime.
platforms?
They will go during the evening, like after 2 p.m. After they finish work. In
After
theory.
they finish work or at lunchtime, isn't it? Or early in the morning while they are commuting, they are in the train or something like that. So that is important to understand. It is important to understand when is the best time to publish social media. So we need to have that. We need to have a schedule that will reflect when is the best day of the week to publish social media, but not only when is the best, what is the best day, but also what is the best time. So that is all about scheduling the social media. All right, next question, please. What number is the next question?
16.
16, okay. Can you read it to me, please?
Does the student have skills and knowledge to establish key performance indicators and evaluation criteria for measuring success of social media activity?
Oh, fantastic question. What is the maximum level of engagement in social media? Who remembers that from last class?
Like sharing or commenting.
Sharing?
Maximum sharing. When someone shares, it means that that person is so agree with that or so is someone that advocates for that business. So sharing is the maximum level, then commenting, and finally liking. So do you have indicators? Do you have key performance indicators? Do you have some level of analysis of how your posts are performing in social media? Are you communicating that to your team? So that's what you need to talk about. What you need to say is, look, when I publish something in social media, I don't review my posts. I don't know if they are engaging or they are not engaging. I don't compare current post with previous post. But now, after this class, I know that that is very important. I know that I need to measure the effectiveness of my post. So my next post is more efficient, and I will try my best to do it next time. For me to know how my social media posts are performing, I just need to establish some key performance indicators in terms of engagement. For example, engagement rates when it comes to sharing the post, commenting the post, or liking the post. Something like that. Or you may say, of course, that is what I do. I have a software system that is telling me every day which of my social media posts is the most popular one. And I use that one in different social media channels because that is demonstrating me that it may be a really good one post in a different social media channel as well. That's why it's performing so good in this one. It's called A/B testing. So I have 2, 3 similar posts. The one that is performing the best is the one that I use for other platforms. All right. So it's all about key performance indicators and the engagement rates. 17, please.
Does the student have skills and knowledge to establish methods for tracking and analyzing social media engagement, activity, and reach?
So this is about pixels. So what it means is that sometimes your digital marketing is so advanced that you can track how people is moving from your social media to your websites and from your websites to your e-commerce. These are called marketing funnels, which is how you guide your customers to be from someone that doesn't exist at all in our databases you know, a stranger to a customer, which is at the very bottom of that funnel. So it is all about marketing funnels. Do you have the skills and knowledge to remember what are the marketing funnels? Remember that we talked about the marketing funnel when we saw the HubSpot graphic. Remember that HubSpot graphic that we discussed? You don't remember that? Strangers, visitors, customers, advocates. If you don't remember that, you need to remember that for this question, because that is about marketing funnels. Marketing funnels. All right, question number 18, please. Question 18, extremely simple question, is all about understanding that the social media strategy should align with a business plan. That one is a little bit repetitive, but that's okay. All right, question 19. Does the student have the skills and knowledge to communicate the social media strategy, the action plan, and the calendar to other people? Yes, because I meet every Monday with my people, with my team, and I tell them what is that we are going to do this week in social media. Or yes, because we have an intranet, and in that intranet, we have a schedule of our social media posts. So people can say and comment before we publish if something is not appropriate. So it is about meetings. It is about you sharing what you are going to do, what you are going to publish with your team, with your stakeholders before you publish it. All right? It is about that. Question number 19 is about, do you understand that you need to share the content with relevant stakeholders before you publish the content? Because once published, it's too late. So your company's policies and procedures should be reflecting that. Your company's policies and procedures should be telling people that is working in the marketing department, hey, hold it. Before you publish, go and share it with a couple of people in the company for you to get feedback. All right? All right, guys. And question 20, and then I will leave the final 5 for you. Question 20. Does the student have skills and knowledge to monitor media issues and crisis management? And they require actions to ensure impacts are minimized. So that question is about what we described before. Some companies don't like customers to say something negative about their brands, and they delete the content before it reaches another audience, before they reach another level. And we have policies and procedures that are telling us to do so. Other companies, they are totally okay with negative comments because they understand that it's part of the market. What they do, though, is they are very proactive in answering, following up with those negative comments to minimize the negative impact. All right, guys. And then I will leave the last 5 for you guys to complete that observation assessment. Give me everything in that observation assessment. That is, for me, the most important assessment. So I know that you understood the lesson and everything else in the quiz. And guys, and that's it.
Sorry, how much time do we have to finish this assessment? Because basically I have to go to work now.
You have 2 weeks after this.
So I can finish it like tomorrow, like the observation, because I already made a quiz.
100%. You have 2 weeks. I'm sorry, I'm a little bit, I pressed you a lot with the assessments, but it's because I don't want you to get so behind. But you have always two weeks before the last class. You have 2 weeks.
Great, thank you.
All right, guys. I will see you next week. Thank you for coming. Sorry for those of you who I had to cancel the meetings, the one-to-ones this week, but as probably you notice, I am not feeling 100%, but feeling better, getting much better. It was one of these nasty colds because of the winter. Okay, guys, enjoy the rest of your weekend, and I will see you soon. Thank you.
Thank you, Santi.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Thank you.
Well.
Bye.
Thank you for that. Appreciate it.